helping hand.
I am the boots on the ground.
To those affected by Hurricane Helene and Milton. A Latin music takeover.
I always like to represent my country, Dominican Republic, with everywhere I go.
Celebrating the 10th anniversary of iHeartRadio's festival. And off to the races at the annual NASCAR Cup Series in South Florida. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm David Lascano.
I'm Nicolette Esper. Today is Monday, October 28th, 2024.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
The war in the Middle East widens this morning after direct strikes between Israel and Iran. There remains no end in sight to the war in Gaza, and yesterday, Israel's military claimed it targeted Hamas in an airstrike on a school near Gaza City.
This as the conflict on Lebanon rages on. CNN's Jim Sciutto reports from Jerusalem.
We had multiple reminders today that the war in the region is a war on multiple fronts, and arguably each of those fronts is getting hotter, or at least not cooling down. Today, Israeli authorities are describing a truck that hit a bus stop just north of Tel Aviv as a terror attack that killed one person, injured more than 30 others, one in a series of terror attacks we've seen in recent weeks here in Israel. There was also a stabbing attack targeting soldiers today. In addition to that, the IDF announced today the deaths of 6 Israeli soldiers, one of them from ongoing fighting in Gaza, 5 others from fighting in southern Lebanon, 2 other fronts, of course, of this war. And then sources tell me today that as part of Israel's strike on Iran overnight on Friday and into early Saturday morning, a strike that involved some 100 Israeli warplanes, that some of those warplanes breached Iranian airspace during that attack. Not all of those warplanes, but some of them. And that shows a significant Israeli capability to strike far away at Iran, hundreds of miles away, an operation that requires refueling in the air for many of these fighters, but also in the course of it to take out Iranian air defenses and, in this case, breach Iranian airspace. So you have all those fronts in Lebanon, in Gaza, between directly Israel and Iran, and of course a front, you might call it here inside Israel, ongoing terror attacks in this country, and in each case them getting more dangerous, not less so. And of course these are developments we continue to follow. Jim Sciutto, CNN, Jerusalem.
McDonald's will now resume selling Quarter Pounders across all of its restaurants, and this comes just after the beef patties in the fast food chain's famous burger tested negative for E. coli. While the CDC and the FDA are still trying to determine the source of the outbreak, McDonald's will continue selling Quarter Pounders, but without onions. This outbreak has left 1 person dead and at least 75 people sick.
Now let's get out of the fast food restaurants. When disasters cause major damage anywhere in the U.S., like Hurricane Helene Milton did a few weeks ago, search and rescue task force teams are deployed. Caplin News reporter Julian Davis got to speak to a member of task force right here in Miami-Dade.
As man-made and natural disasters happen constantly and sometimes without warning, a team here from Miami-Dade Fire Rescue proves why they are always ready and proud to serve within a moment's notice.
Florida Task Force 1 is the name of the special team that Miami-Dade Fire Rescue is on. When disasters like Hurricanes Helene and Milton hit, these are the firefighters that respond. One of those firefighters is Captain Orestes Gonzalez, who's been on the team voluntarily for 14 years.
I am the boots on the ground that actually would go into a house and search for a victim, would go on a boat if needed to rescue somebody from high waters. I'm that individual.
Like most of Captain Gonzalez's teammates, he is a rescue specialist. This means they can perform complex rescues with various specialty tools and techniques.
You have to take rope class, you have to take trench class, you have to take vehicle extrication, all that just to get you the first certification. It's not something that you can just come on into.
While out on deployments, the team is completely self-sufficient and able to handle almost anything they may face, from medical calls to hazmat situations.
It's different types of preparation. We bring our boats with us. We bring different types of equipment that we can help our citizens or residents or anybody that might be in that situation.
As we are still in hurricane season until November 30th, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue stresses the importance of being prepared and knowing what to do before, during, and after disaster strikes to make sure you and your family are safe. Reporting from Doral for Caplin News, I'm Julian Davis.
Race weekend in South Florida is officially in the books, and Caplin News reporter Dylan Pizzay was on hand in Homestead for the Street Talk Wireless 400.
Hello everybody and welcome to Homestead Miami Speedway. I'm here for the continuation of the round of 8 in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. When people think NASCAR, they mainly think of the big, loud Cup cars with all the big name superstars. But aside from Sunday's main Cup race, there are 2 support races that are also deciding championships. The Truck Race and the Xfinity Series race. Grant Infinger was able to find his way around Corey Heim, who had led most of the race, to claim the Truck Series win.
We started out that first run and just kind of slowly, methodically worked our way up, and feel like we kind of showed we potentially had one of the better trucks on the long run, other than the 11. And then Jeff made it better on our second pit stop, and then I feel like we had the class of the field from that point on.
Without getting too much into the weeds of NASCAR championship rules, you want wins late in the season to lock you into the next round of the playoffs. So after years of racing and winning earlier in the season, Austin Hill's win here in Homestead finally lets him compete for a championship.
The whole last lap just got really emotional. I've never really gotten emotional after winning a race and crying and all that, and it got to me pretty good. As soon as we got to the start-finish line, took the checkered flag, I kind of broke down pretty good.
After starting first, you'd think it'd be an easy day for Cup driver Tyler Reddick, but after falling back some, on the final lap of the race, in the final 2 corners, he managed to not only pass his boss, Denny Hamlin, for second place, but the defending Cup Series champion, Ryan Blaney, for the win.
A number of other cars on like 3-4 lap tires, stay out and get their doors blown off. So I made the right guess. I got the bottom, I got clean air, I got up in front of the 11 and had a good run on the 12. I was just blown away that I had that kind of momentum going into turn 3.
Well, that's all the time we have here for Homestead Miami Speedway's NASCAR playoffs. If you'd like more information, go to homesteadspeedway.com to see when they'll be back next. And that's all the time we have here for this. For Caplin News, I am Dylan Pizzay.
Coming from India, astronaut Sunita Williams expresses her pride in her heritage while aboard the International Space Station. Williams, a practicing Hindu, will send a message to attendees at a Diwali reception at the White House on Monday. President Biden will light a Dia lamp in the Blue Room and address the crowd. Williams plans to be back on Earth in February. Now, normally what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but a heartwarming moment between 2 singers have traveled all across the world.
Moments like this are the ones that we love to see, and that story is still ahead, and so is this one.
I always like to represent my country, Dominican Republic, with everywhere I go.
Reggaeton sparked the 305 for a fun-filled night. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Jaw-dropping performances kept fans on their feet at the iHeartRadio Fiesta Latina. They're celebrating their 10th anniversary this past weekend. Artists like Fade, Wisin, and the Black Eyed Peas took over the Casey Center on Saturday in Latin style.
And Caplin News reporter Jacqueline Pecker was on the red carpet.
I'm here at iHeartRadio's Fiesta Latina tonight, celebrating the stars of Latin music in this special concert for the Latin American community. Every year, iHeartRadio celebrates the stars, the culture, and the fans of Latin music in this annual concert that features some of the biggest names in the genre. With performances from musicians like Fade, Sebastián Yatra, Manuel Turizo, Wisin, and a finale by the Black Eyed Peas, fans got the concert experience of a lifetime. Colombian reggaeton sensation Fade headlined the concert before receiving the iHeartRadio Corazón Latino Award on stage. Enrique Santos, President and Chief Creative Officer of iHeart Latino and on-air talent for iHeartRadio, who presented the award, honored him for his impact on the music industry.
Fade is someone who's really taken his music to the next level, not only with his collabs, but with his unique style from Colombia to the rest of the world.
The annual concert marks the end of Hispanic Heritage Month. On the red carpet, presenters and the stars shared what their heritage means to them.
I always like to represent my country, Dominican Republic, with everywhere I go.
If I would have to say that I have a favorite part of my heritage, it most definitely would have to be overall the music. Because the music, for some reason, not only does it bring joy, but it brings us together. Whether it's una bachata, un perico ripia, un merengue, unos palos, whatever it is, music, our music is contagious.
All the dishes we make are, made in Spain, and our culture, even in the United States, is intact.
iHeartRadio Fiesta Latina has been a staple in the Hispanic Latino community since its debut in 2014. As with this year, next year's lineup is sure to bring fans back together for another night of fun and music in celebration of Latin culture. For Caplin News, I'm Jacqueline Pecker.
Fans were in awe when Adele and Celine exchanged an affectionate hug at Adele's concert in Las Vegas. At the Coliseum Caesars Palace, the British singer shared a heartwarming moment with Celine Dion, who launched her first Las Vegas residency there over 2 decades ago. Acknowledges the venue's significance, Adele stated, "It's only ever been about this room. This is just a full circle moment to me. It's amazing." Fans sang along to When We Were Young after Adele tearfully encouraged them. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm David Lascano.
I'm Nicolette Esper. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fau.edu.